got to play that, babe. I don't wanna wait another minute for you. Oh, you got me falling from the ceiling for you. Knew it from the start, there was no limit to you. And I'm catching feelings.
Hey Davionacraven, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I will be doing a updated TV show recommendation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on post notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below a purple heart so I know that you got the hashtag Davionacraven. And let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first show is called Stranger Things. So I've been getting a lot of recommendations. Is it a good, from people I know, like, is it a good show? So I start watching it. What is it about? Can you explain a little bit about it? See if I want to watch it and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give little brief summaries of it. Not too much of the show. It's like, if I tell too much, it's gonna be like telling the whole story. But I'm gonna give it a brief things about the main character. And what is it about? Like the main couple characters and what is it about, stuff like that. Okay, so basically, it's about this show. It's about it's about these kids that live in this town called Hawkins, and they found this girl named 11. And they name her 11, but they call her L2. So they name her 11, and she got these superpowers. And she with these group of 4 boys, and start hanging out with them and stuff like that. And they found out she got superpowers, and she had to fight this evil demon that took one of their friends, and it's called Demogorgon, and she had to fight them off and stuff like that to save the friend. It's more into the show, but they have to fight this thing to stop it from causing to kill people. So basically, like, they have to figure out how this thing got here and why is it taking people and trying to kill them and stuff like that. So that's a good show, and there's currently 4 seasons, and they will be having a 5th and last season. So if I was you, go watch it, because the 4th season just came out last month. So yeah, go check that out. It was a good season, and the last season is a major season of understanding the first season. So if I was you, I'll watch it all the way through, not just go watch the last season and be like, I'm so confused. It's going to confuse you if you watch the last season first, then go backwards. Because I heard some people, watch the last season first and then watch the first season and was still confused watching the last season. Don't know why. So if I was you, I won't recommend doing that. The next show is number 2. It's called Rebel. This is a new show that just came out on Netflix. Oh, by the way, you can watch all these shows on Netflix. Well, some of them come on TV, then they put them on Netflix. But the 2 shows, the Stranger Things is a Netflix show. So Netflix, if you want to know where it's come, where you can watch it at, Netflix. It's a top running show. Excuse me, allergies. Okay, number two is called Rebel. This is a new show that just came on TV. Netflix. And it's a good show. It's about these kids who go to like this preppy school, and they start like a band, like doing music and start like a band and stuff like that. It's a good show. I recommend watching it. They just came out with season 2 like a couple days ago. It's a very good show. I haven't watched season 2 yet, but season 1 was really good. It's a lot of like drama. It's like about one of the girls can sing real good and another girl don't like her. Drama show. It's a teen drama show. It's a good show. I recommend watching it. Now, number 3 is called All American Homecoming. A lot of people has asked me about this show too, Dana. So, in order you to watch All American Homecoming, you have to watch All American. All American. You have to watch All American. Like, 100% have to watch All American. Because you're not going to understand All American Homecoming. So, let me give you a brief summary. If you never watched All American, let me give you a brief summary about that to understand what I'm talking about in All American Homecoming. So, I'm going to tell you about the main characters in the show. I'm going to list off all the characters in the show, talk about the main character, talk about the main character in All American Homecoming, for you to understand. Okay, so the main characters of the show is Spencer, is a boy named Spencer, a girl named Coop, a boy named Jordan, a girl named Olivia, a girl named Layla, a boy named JJ, Asher, Coach, which is Jordan's father, then the mother, which is Mrs. Baker, which is Jordan and Olivia's mother, which is Jordan and Olivia are twins, then Spencer's mother, and little brother. So, there are all these people in the show. Oh, and Patience, which is Coop's girlfriend. So, the main character in the show, though the main three characters you need to pay attention to, four characters you need to pay attention to for right now. Then I'm going to get to all the other words. So, Coop, Spencer, Jordan, and Olivia. Those are four you need to pay attention to right now. Jordan and Olivia go to school named Beverly. Spencer and Coop used to go to school named Kershaw. Spencer used to go to school named Kershaw. Then he moved over here to Beverly to play a sport called football. So the show's about football. He moves over here. So Coop's still at Kershaw. He's over here. Now here come, I'm going to name another character. Here's Patience. She's with her. She's with Kershaw. So I'm going to get out Kershaw. So, boom. There's these three. Okay. Spencer moved. Okay, so Spencer got help from Coach Baker to get to Beverly, which is in California. Got to Beverly. And when he moved to Beverly, he lives with the twins, Olivia and Jordan. So, let's get started. So, Spencer moves to Beverly and goes to play football. And he goes to play football, and he's living in a house with the Bakers. And comes with all this, he's a new student at the school, but he's not new living there. Like, he didn't just move there or something like that. But he's new moving in this town. Excuse me. Moving in this town and stuff like that. So he moving in this town, living with the Bakers, and he like this star quarterback. And everybody loving him, right? He's a star quarterback. Then everybody loving him. He winning the championship. He good, not dropping the ball. He good at what he do. And he's taking people's spots. Now, some people on the team not really feeling him when he first get there. Not really feeling him, all this stuff. And it's just a lot just going on. People just like, I'm not really feeling you. Got some issue, got some beef. And stuff like that. He got some daddy issues. All this stuff. But he got the help of his best friend Coop, who always there for him. And then the best friend Coop is always in trouble. She gets in trouble a lot in season 1. There's 4 seasons, by the way. She gets in trouble a lot trying to beat Jonas. She joined this gang, where they had a friend named Sean and Tyrone. She joined this gang, which was Tyrone's gang. She joined it. Then come a lot of trouble and all this stuff. You know how gangs are. You in Crenshaw. You know how Crenshaw is. Nipsey Hussle from Crenshaw, so you know what Crenshaw is. So it's a lot of gang stuff, a lot of shooting, a lot of people dying for no reason and stuff like that. So after all that, so Jordan, let's get to Jordan. Jordan start dating this girl. Let's get to, like, for you to understand, you have to watch the season, but I'm gonna tell you these 2 people. Jordan dating this girl named Simone. Okay, so boom, let's get to season 4. Boom, she moves. So Simone goes to a different college than everybody. So Jordan, Spencer, Asher, Jordan Spencer, Asher, Coop, Patience, and Layla all stay in California. She moves to a different school. Jordan, Spencer, and Olivia, all three of them go to the same college. She goes to a different college than all of them, which is far away from them. So let's get to All American Homecoming. All American Homecoming is about her tribulations of her being in college. So she left All American to go be on All American Homecoming. Excuse the burp. All American Homecoming, where she goes and do her little thing in college and figure out the tribulations of college and all this stuff. Wait. She's dating Jordan, right? But wait, she also in a love triangle with a guy named Damien. So it's about a lot of tribulations, her being in a love triangle with a guy while she still have a boyfriend back home. Back home and all this stuff. So it's a lot of tribulations, her going through stuff and all this crap. Figuring out college, being a freshman, figuring out college and all that stuff. Yeah. It's a lot for her. But yeah, it's a good show, so I recommend watching. But for you watch before, let me do this again. You watch All American Homecoming. Please go watch All American, because if you go watch All American, take this out of this video and go watch All American. Homecoming first. You're gonna get a lot of spoilers in All American Homecoming. That's coming from the last season of All American. So you need to go watch All American first before you watch All American Homecoming, because all the stuff that's happening in the All American Homecoming is spoilers from episodes before it dropped. Like like in season 4, like all the stuff that happened in season 4, some of the episodes dropped on All American Homecoming first before it dropped in All American. So say like a breakup happened in All American that you would know that's supposed to happen in All American, dropped first on All American Homecoming before it dropped on All American. Because All American Homecoming come on before All American. All American come on before All American Homecoming. But the stuff that they tell in the show drops first before it drops in All American. So it's really like if a couple break up, it won't come out to the next week, but it will drop the same, like after a couple have a fight, they would drop that in All American Homecoming before it hit the next week mark. So yeah, All American Homecoming and All American are both on Netflix, but they do come on TV Mondays nights at 8. All American Homecoming at 8. All American come on at 8. All American Homecoming come on at 9. So yeah, they're on the CW channel. I recommend watching on TV, but it's good to watch them on Netflix too, because I watch them on TV, then I go back and rewatch them on regular TV. Netflix. So yeah. So the next show is called Who Cares Her? Now, this show has, I think, 3 parts. I'm mistaken. It's three parts to this show. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm mistaken. Let me see. Let's go to Netflix. Yeah, it's 3 seasons to the show. Now, this show goes on a roller coaster. I'm gonna do the same thing I did for All American Homecoming, but All American. But this don't have a spinoff. So, but I'm gonna tell you the character and how it went down. Not like how the story went down, but how like the main point of the show, where you need to point and show what it means. So who kills Sarah? Okay, so it's about this girl named Sarah, who they're trying to solve the mystery about who killed her. So she has a brother named Alex, and I'm gonna just tell you the first bit of the story of the first 5 minutes of the episode 1. So episode 1 is about, so Sarah and her brother and a bunch of their friends was swimming. They was on a little kayak thingy, like the little thing that be in the air, and she fell off the thing in the rope, and the brother rushes to the hospital with the friends, and Sarah pronounced dead. But they make the brother take the fall for it. And after the brother gets out of jail, he's trying to figure out 1, 2, 3 seasons of who killed the sister. And watch this show, then come back and comment down below what you thought about this show. Because the very end of this show, the last season of Who Killed Her, is so freaking dumb on my case. In my opinion, I think the show ended very weird. So, you tell me how you feel about this show and stuff like that. The next show is Young Royals. Okay. This show is currently having a season 2 coming out in November of this year. Season 2 is coming out very soon. So, this show is called Young Royals. And this show is about basically, okay, so this show is basically a spinoff. So you watch, if you have heard of Meghan Markle and the Queen Elizabeth and all them, so you know the show called The Crown. So basically, the show called The Crown is the main show, and then Young Royal is the spinoff of The Crown. So basically, they did like a spinoff of the show. So basically, it's about a show about a boy who goes to this boarding school and he gets a fight first. Let's start off first. He gets a fight first, then he gives a fight at his public school, then he gets moved to a boarding school, and then he falls in love with this guy. And he falls in love with this guy. Since he's royal, he's not allowed to have a relationship. And he has a lot of tribulations doing it, trying to like tribulations and stuff, being with this guy and stuff like that, and falling in love with this like young love, and falling in love and everything, and all the stuff that happens. Ooh, it just makes you wanna punch to go through the phone or TV, whatever you're watching now, and just punch the person who in the show that does the stuff that he does in the show. Tell me what you think about that show too. Okay. And it's a very good show. Okay. Number 6, Summertime. Now this show is currently canceled. How many seasons did they have? I think they have 4. Let me see. Summertime only had 3 seasons. It had only 3 seasons. Well, it had 3 seasons. It's a very good show. So, it's about this girl named Summer. And it's summertime. It's about this girl named Summer, and they trying to figure like they just graduated from high school, and they trying to like have a summertime, and it's summertime and trying to have all this fun. Yes, the girl name is Summer. Trying to have all this fun. Then she falls in love, and all this stuff. And all the stuff that comes with it, like trials and tribulations coming with the show. A lot of drama, a lot of love, young love, with each different character and all that stuff. But it's a good show to watch. So yeah, go watch Summertime. Currently 3 seasons, and it's on Netflix. Okay, so this is a called number 7. This is a African show, and it's called Blood and Water. Blood and Water. Let me stop. Okay, it's called Blood and Water. It's about this girl named Poulan who was at this one school. And okay, so let me start from the story. Let me get to the story, like I did Stranger Things. So let me tell the story, so you'll understand what the main point of the show is about. Let me get you like the main factors of the show. Not too much of the stuff, but like some tell you about it. So it's a girl named Poulan's sister goes missing, and everybody in the town thinking it's her father who kidnapped the daughter the Poulan's sister kidnapped her, and they looking for her. Like he got her kidnapped. He planned her to get kidnapped. So everybody thinking that he did that, and they got all of like this bad press, and they taking it on Poulin and her family because the sister's kidnapped, and it's all in the newspaper and all this stuff. Because it's like when the show first started, it's like her anniversary of her being gone for so long, and everybody trying to find her and all this stuff. Then she moves to the school. She goes to the school, new school, and she started dating this guy, and all this stuff. She started dating this guy and everything, and it comes with a lot of stuff. But let me just tell you, I don't want to ruin it, but let me just tell you this. This is not gonna make no sense. I'ma just tell you this and keep an eye close what I say about this. Keep a close eye. This sister's closer than you think. Her sister is very closer than you think. That's all I'm gonna say. And there's a hit, and it's currently on. Everybody will go cancel this subscription and watch other stuff like HBO Max, Hulu, and Disney Plus. Cause Netflix is doing too much. Who about to charge $2 and some cents if I added my password to another TV? That sounds stupid. But yeah. So Vampire Diaries is about a girl named Elena whose parents recently died in a bridge died and died, and her aunt is taking care of her younger brother. And Elena how Elena's parents died. Elena was in the car, was at a party. Then she asked her mom to go pick her up, but her dad came along with the mom, and the mom and dad went to go pick her up, and they was driving in a car, and their car fell off a bridge, which called the Wiggly Bridge. They car fell off the bridge, and they fell in the water and stuff like that. And their dad and mom died, and the dad told the person who tried to save them was this vampire named Stefan. Now Stefan tried to save all three of them, but the dad told him specifically just to save Elena, and he saved just Elena, and he saved Elena and all that stuff, and then he saved Elena and she survived and stuff like that. Then Stefan moves. They live in a small town called Mystic Falls, by the way. Stefan moves into this house. Only vampires can enter, because you have to be invited in to get into the house. So he lives in a house only vampires can be invited into. Like, they don't have to be invited in, but they can just walk in anytime. So he moves in, him and Elena start dating and all this stuff. And Elena is this thing called a doppelganger. So you need to understand this. Elena is this thing called a doppelganger. And it's this evil dude. So they have these things. Let me back it up. They have these things called the originals, where they're original vampires who can only die from a state. This show currently has 2 seasons, and there's another season coming out very soon. But it's a good show, so I recommend to go watch that. Number 8. This is a teen show. This show is called Never Have I Ever. In the sentence. Never have I ever. It's about this girl and her friends. I can't think of her name right now at the top of my head. It's about this girl and her friends. Let me see if I can remember her name.
What is a boy doing in the room?
It's about this girl and her friend named Davy. Yeah, like Davy. It's about this girl named Davy, and hurry to go watch it. A new season come out Friday. It's about this girl named Davy and her group of friends who in high school, and they're going through a lot of different high school things, trials and tribulations, like every show ever do. And it's a very good show, so I recommend to go watch. So go check it out. And
Just tutoring him. Relax.
the next show, this one Gonna take me a minute to explain. Next show, number 9. Legacies. I kid you not, like I said about All American Homecoming, this is a spinoff of Vampire Diaries. The originals. Their legacies. So, let's get on to the topic. First show you need to go watch is Vampire Diaries. That's the main show of the story. Go watch Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries is a show a lot of people haven't watched it, because I've been seeing a lot of TikToks talking about, oh, I just started watching Vampire Diaries. Like, recently, because sadly to say, Vampire Diaries is coming off of Netflix September 5th. Why is that doing it? Because Vampire Diaries and, I'm going to just say this, Vampire Diaries and Grey's Anatomy are the two main shows that's holding Netflix together. Because without Netflix, without them two shows, Netflix would be nothing. Everybody would just cancel their subscription. So everybody would go cancel their subscription and watch other stuff like HBO Max, Hulu, and Disney Plus. Cause Netflix is doing too much. Who about to charge $2 and some cents if I added my password to another TV? That sounds stupid. But yeah, so Vampire Diaries is about a girl named Elena whose parents recently died in a bridge, died and died, and her aunt is taking care of her younger brother, and Elena, how Elena parents died. Elena was in the car, was at a party. Then she asked her mom to go pick her up, but her dad came along with the mom, and the mom and dad went to go pick her up, and they was driving in a car, and their car fell off a bridge, which called the Wiggly Bridge. They car fell off the bridge, and they fell in the water and stuff like that. And their dad and mom died, and the dad told the person who tried to save them was this vampire named Stefan. Now Stefan tried to save all three of them, but the dad told him specifically just to save Elena, and he saved just Elena, and he saved Elena and all that stuff, and then he saved Elena and she survived and stuff like that. Then Stefan moves. They live in a small town called Mystic Falls, by the way. Stefan moves into this house. Only vampires can enter, because you have to be invited in to get into the house. So he lives in a house only vampires can be invited into. Like, they don't have to be invited in, but they can just walk in anytime. So he moves in, him and Elena start dating and all this stuff. And Elena is this thing called a doppelganger. So you need to understand this. Elena is this thing called a doppelganger. And it's this evil dude. So they have these things. Let me back it up. They have these things called the originals, where they're original vampires who can only die from a stake. So they have these original vampires. They can only be killed by this thing called the white ghost stake. And vampires can be killed by fire and, well, they could be killed by fire too. But vampires could be killed by, what is it called? They could be, the original one could be killed by a white ghost stake killing them and fire. If you stab them with the thing, if you stab them with a stake and then fire, they could be killed. So there's only two things that could kill them. And vampires could be killed the ratchet ways, stuff like that. So they have these originals. So it's the first original that we need to talk about is Klaus. Klaus is the original that's trying to kill Elena, because she's called this thing called a doppelganger. So Klaus is trying to kill Elena, because her blood can help him create this thing called werewolf and a vampire. You can be a werewolf and a vampire. So hybrid. So her blood can make hybrids. And he's trying to kill her to make his blood, to make his hybrids, because he want to have a clan of hybrids, because he's a hybrid. He's a vampire and a werewolf. So he want to have hybrids. They have vampire werewolves. They have vampire werewolves, witches, and doppelgangers. And hunters. Vampire hunter. So Elena's a doppelganger. Then Elena turns a vampire in a couple upcoming season. She turns a vampire. By the way, there's 8 seasons of this show. She turns a vampire, then her brother is a vampire hunter. Other stuff she dates. there's a lot of stuff going on in the show, so it's not bad me talk about who she date, who she don't date. She started dating Stefan in the first season, first 4 seasons. She started dating Stefan. Then the end of the thing, she stopped dating Stefan. They break up. Um, she started dating Damon. But before she started dating Stefan, she dated Matt first. And freshman year, she dated Matt first. Then she dated Stefan. Then she dated Damon. So, yeah. So then, okay. So in one of the seasons, they talk about the spinoff. So I think like season 4, when Elena became a vampire, she turned her man on because she was the only, all her family members died in one of the seasons. So in season 4, that's when they start talking about the originals and the spinoff. So the originals is about Klaus, his sister Rebecca, Elijah, Cole, and Finn, all the originals. So she starts talking about them, and the mother Esther, and the father. So the originals start talking about all of them, and then moving to New Orleans, and they moved to Orleans, living in New Orleans, and they tribulation trial. Tribulation. Klaus has a daughter. Klaus started sleep with this girl named Haley. Has a daughter by her named Hope, who's a werewolf. I don't know what the term it is called, but for werewolves and vampires, they're called hybrids. But I forgot the terminology for this. It's called, she's a werewolf, vampire, and witch, because her mother and father are both originally vampires. I mean, werewolves. And then they become vampires. Then her family incinerated from witches. So she's a witch, vampire, and a werewolf. So she's all 3. So that's how that show is trials tribulation with that show. Different stuff trying to stop this thing, trying to stop the thing called the Hollow. All this stuff coming out to Hope, trying to stop Hope. Hope is the main person that you need to pay attention to because she's the main slot of the show. And same thing with Legacies. Legacies is about Hope. So in the original, Hope mother sends her to the school back in Mr. Falls called for all the like supernatural people. So let's go back. So in Vampire Diaries, at the end of Vampire Diaries, not trying to spoil nothing, but I have to say this to you to understand what the name of the school, what the name it is, where she going. So in Vampire Diaries, so the dude Stefan start dating. Well, when Elena and him break up, because Elena dies in the show, just to say that she dies in the show, so she's out of the equation. So that's why I'm just saying. So if I spoiled it, I'm sorry. I had to, so you understand. So people like, what happened to Elena? What happened to Elena? Why don't them two never get back together? She's out of the equation. Elena best friend named Caroline start dating Stefan. Them two get married, and Caroline met a school for Stefan because Caroline has 2 kids in this show. Y'all gotta understand. So if I spoil anything, it's not gonna make a point because y'all have to understand all of me, what I'm saying in the show. To like, you have to go watch the whole thing for to understand what I'm saying. Caroline has 2 kids named Lizzie and Josie with Alaric, who she got the babies got magically put in her body because the vampire can have a baby, so the powers got magically put in her body. So, because Alaric's wife originally died and she was pregnant, but the babies got moved into Caroline magically. So, yeah. So, they made a school called the Salvatore School, which Damon and Stefan last name are Salvatores. So they made a school called a School of Salvatore, where all the supernaturals and all that stuff is. That's where they send Hope. So in Legacies that's where Hope's school is at. It's called the Salvatore School, and she go there, and she's a werewolf, vampire, and all that stuff like I said before. And Alaric helps run the school while Caroline's out doing other business to progress the school and all that stuff, because she owns the school. So he's the headmaster of the school, and she the headmaster of the school, so they both headmasters. And she's on the school while he take care of the daughters and do all the stuff and help with the school and all the other people in the school and then they fight in trials, tribulation. They be fighting monsters, vampires, all that stuff. It's a lot, but it's more than it is in. It's like a little more stuff they fight than they did in Vampire Diaries. Because in Vampire Diaries, they fought a lot of vampires, mostly vampires and werewolves. They didn't fight like, they didn't start fighting different things. Like, they fought like mostly vampire, werewolves, and witches. They didn't fight like different things until like season 7 and 8 is when they mostly started fighting different stuff and everything. So I recommend go watching that show. Now the last and final show, hold on. Last and final show is called Jenny and Georgia. This show is on Netflix, and it's a new season coming out. I don't know when, but it's coming out. Jenny and Georgia is about this girl named Jenny, and she has a mom. Jenny is about a girl named Jenny, and her mom named Georgia moves her and her little brother to a new town, and she goes to this new school, and she meets some new people, and go through everything, meet new people, moving in a new town. She started talking to this boy and start dating this boy and stuff like that, and also was talking to another boy and some other stuff, and it's a lot. But one of the girls in the show, so if you have seen Degrassi, and you remember Frankie from Degrassi, who is Miles' little sister, who was twins with Hunter from Degrassi, she's in the show. So comment down below if you've seen Degrassi and you know who I'm talking about. You'll see her once you go watch the show. And all these shows that I'm recommending are on Netflix. So yeah, but that's a good show to go watch. It's a lot, and the ending trips you out. Like, there's only currently one season, and it trip you out like real bad. So yeah, go watch that show. Tell me how you like all these shows I recommended. And yeah, so that's the end of the video. So don't forget to like, comment, share. Well, I don't know what's up with this burping. Me getting allergies making me burp. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like my nails. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on post notification bell so you be notified anytime I post a new video. And comment down below a purple heart. So now you put the hashtag Davionacraven and give this video a big thumbs up. And I'll see you in my next video.